Hey guys, good morning. Happy Thursday. I've been up all night. It is now 3:19 a.m. Thursday morning. Let's go over this. It's been an eventful 24 hours. As I'm making this right now, high-level people in the White House, including Vice President Pence, are seriously considering invoking the 25th Amendment that Trump is no longer fit for office. These aren't political pundits. These aren't upset Democrats. These are people close to the president, Republicans close to the president, concerned after seeing him incite his followers yesterday to go to the Capitol and to confront. We all saw what happened. And the concern for what is possible for the next 2 weeks. All right, Facebook, Twitter, and I think YouTube have shut off Trump's accounts for 24 hours. 12 hours for Twitter and 24 hours for Facebook, if I'm not mistaken, because of his inciting this situation. This is something I want to talk about. I want to talk about... I'm assuming we've all seen the videos. Worldwide. England, Boris Johnson, Germany. All you guys watching this from another country, we've seen your reactions to this. Disgust, horror, sympathy, empathy for our democracy. This isn't about any justified questioning of an election, which we've already gone through this. There is no valid. These people are being misled. Watching the videos, we've all seen these videos now. There's a couple that stand out where they actually broke in, and there was a lone African American Capitol policeman, and he looked older than me, maybe in his 60s. One lone policeman confronted by people breaking down the door, defending himself with a stick about this long. And I've seen this video over and over again all night. They chase him down the hallway. He stops and tries to, just one guy against over 100 people coming at him. And he stops and turns around and tries to push him back. And he does this like a dozen times. And there's this one Caucasian young Trump supporter that keeps coming after him and confronting him and chasing him up the stairs. And every time this African American policeman turns around with his stick, that weak little Trump supporter stops and backs off when he's confronted. It's just, it says a lot. I'd love to know the name of that policeman and who he is. He stopped and tried to defend the Capitol. He stopped. There was hundreds of people following him, and one guy, and he had a stick. You guys have seen this video. I think if you really watch what you're seeing, if you stop and really watch what you're seeing, you see the crowd grow. You see Trump incite them and tell them to go to the Capitol. Thousands of people immediately turn like robots and start walking down. And you watch what they're doing. They're all looking at each other to see what the other person's doing. There's no independent thought. If you watch, you see them all they look a bit dazed, and they're looking around each other. This is right as soon as they left Trump's speech. And they're still in groups of couples, like little groups, and they're just looking around at each other. Okay, and then we see what happens when they get to the Capitol. Now, once they get in there, look at what happened. Look at them in the hallways, and it's like once they fulfilled the commands of Trump to go there and get into and confront the people and get into the Capitol, they had no more They had no more programming on what to do next, and they wandered around like deep-programmed robots, just kind of wandering through the Capitol, looking around. And that says so much right there. That once they fulfilled the commands of Donald Trump and got inside that Capitol, look at the way they just aimlessly wandered around. This had nothing to do about counting votes or election machines, which has all been debunked over and over, and I'm not going to get into it. These people have been lied to and programmed. And you see, once they get in that Capitol, there's no more further programming. And they look confused. They don't know what to do with themselves. You see one guy sitting at Pelosi's desk, stealing papers. You see another guy walking out with a podium, waving. Just random acts of theft and vandalism once they've reached the end of their programming. Being told what to do. This isn't about an election. This is about a group of people who are following and listening and doing whatever this man says. You see that right there. You see that in the speech that he gives, the commands that he gives that group of people, and then you see them react to it. And once they get to the end of that programming, they're lost. They're just wandering around, aimlessly committing random acts of vandalism and theft and confusion, of not knowing what to do next because they've run out of the end of their instruction. If that's not a cult, I don't know what is. These are people being controlled by Donald Trump. He tells them that the election's been stolen from them. You need to go to the Capitol and confront them. And they do it. They do it without question. They believe every word, command, and follow it. If that's not a cult, I don't know what is. And this is actually, we talk about the comparisons to Germany in the 30s and 40s. And it's scary that if Donald Trump didn't have a little more intelligence and self-control, he'd really be a danger. He'd really take it one step beyond the infamous man from then did. There's so much I want to talk about. There's so much we could learn and understand by watching these videos over and over. They're hard to watch, but you got to start to understand the dynamic. Now, on the positive side, a lot of Republicans that were going along with this just for a little political theater have seen the result of it now and have said enough. Pence seems to have done a complete 360. And of course, now he's become the object of their hate. And I'm happy to say that these lawmakers were determined to get back in and count these votes and complete their job, and they did. As far as I understand, the job is done. The counting is done. Donald Trump and his supporters did not win. They did not win yesterday. They simply just showed their movement for what it really is. A cult. It's a cult. This isn't about election. If you look at every face in that crowd, every single face was white, Caucasian. Every single face. I didn't see one Asian. I didn't see one African American. Not one. Look at the comparison from the BLM protests this summer. I saw Capitol policemen yesterday actually just turn and walk away from the barricades and let all the protesters run past them. There's a lot of answers that we need to find over the coming days. There's a lot of cleaning house I think we need to do. We watch people just scale the singularly most important building in our country yesterday with impunity. When Donald Trump wanted to walk across through a group of peaceful protesters to a church, there was mayhem and tear gas and flash grenades. Yesterday, they stormed the most important building in our entire nation with impunity and with besides for one older African-American policeman defending the Capitol with a stick. I didn't see much more. There's so much more I want to talk about with this. All right, you guys have a good Thursday. I'm going to be back. There's so much more I need to cover. It's only 3:30 in the morning. I'll be back with a couple more videos this afternoon, Thursday, January 7th. Stay tuned.